Hello everyone, welcome to today's lesson on Kolbs experiential learning. Try to recall what kinds of methods do you find the best when learning. Do you learn more effectively when watching videos, reading textbooks, listening to the professor, or drawing out diagrams? Please post the answer to these questions to the class forum. As a designer, knowing the types of learning styles and methods that students may have can help you create curriculum that meets everyone's needs. You may want to create and access resources that are engaging to everyone. In today's lesson, we'll look at Kolb's experiential learning theory and learning styles that may support students in their future learning. By the end of this lesson, students should be able to describe the 4 stages in Kolb's learning cycle and learning styles. Choose a learning style that suits your learning behavior and justify your answer. Contrast the pros and cons of Kolb's experiential learning by applying it to the teaching, learning, and designing context. Experiential learning is a holistic perspective that combines experience, perception, cognition, and behavior. In other words, it offers a method to understand people's different learning styles and illustrate a cycle of experiential learning that applies to most learners. The cycle of experiential learning consists of 4 stages. During concrete experience, learner will actively experience an activity, resulting in new experiences. Then, learner will reflect back on that experience. Due to reflective observation, learner give rise to new ideas to form abstract concepts. At last, learner will apply the new concept to the world around them in future situations. While actively experimenting the new concepts, learner encounter new experiences again, forming a cycle of experiential learning. Recall, Kolb's experiential learning cycle is very similar to Roger Greenaway's learning cycle that we have learned in the previous lessons, which consists of facts, feelings, findings, and future. Since different learners prefer different styles of learning, Kolb concluded that everyone preferred learning style is actually the product of 2 choices that we make. Therefore, learners would somehow fall into one of these quadrants derived from the cycle of learning. Now let's dive deeper into the 4 learning styles. For divergers, they learn better when allowed to observe and collect wide range of information. They're imaginative, good at brainstorming and generate ideas, and view situations from many perspectives. If students are assimilators, they learn better when presented with sound logical theories. They're good at understanding theories, researching, and planning. Also, they're highly logical and theoretical. Therefore, most scientists and mathematicians are assimilators. For convergers, they learn better when provided with practical applications of theories and concepts. Lastly, accommodators learn better when they are provided with hands-on practice. They have people skills, quick at making decisions, and highly adaptable. Usually, sales, nursing person, and teachers belong to this category. Kolb's experiential learning is very useful in assisting us in planning learning activities and help us to check if learners are effectively engaged. However, teachers must keep in mind that the models offered in this theory does not apply to all situations. For instance, this model does not really address different cultural experiences and conditions. Since Canada is a multicultural country, students are different in their cognitive and communication styles that are culturally based. Also, Kolb's models are too neat and simplistic. Sometimes, a number of processes can occur at once, or stages can be jumped from concrete experience to active experimentation directly. As a result, teachers may want to consider multiple theories to plan a successful learning environment. For this week's activities, please draw a diagram combining the learning cycle and learning styles. Please include a simple definition of concrete experience, reflective observation, abstract conceptualization, active experimentation, accommodating, diverging, assimilating, and converging. You will want to be creative and draw images around the diagram to further explain the stages and styles. For Activity 2, please answer the following questions in the class forum. What kind of learner are you? What kinds of methods will you use or keep on using in the future to help you learn more effectively? Why might it be bad to label yourself as a particular kind of learner? As long as you answer the questions and provide detailed reasons and examples, you will get a full participation mark. Now that you have a basic understanding of Kolbs experiential learning, you can now describe the 4 stages in Kolb's learning cycle and learning styles. Choose a learning style that suits your learning behavior. Contrast the pros and cons of Kolb's experiential learning by applying it to the teaching, learning, and designing context. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Thank you for listening to today's lesson on Kolb's experiential learning.